What's up, guys? My name is Zach, and today I am driving a 1967 Chevy C10. Up front is a 5.7 liter turbocharged V8, and down below is a 5-speed manual transmission. This is the car's owner, truck's owner, Chris, and he's going to tell us about it today. Chris, what the heck is done to this thing?
It's just a stock 5.7 liter out of a 2000 Chevy Corvette with a 76 millimeter precision turbo and a Holley Terminator X ECU. And then of course the 5-speed, the Tremec TKO 600, which makes it even more fun.
So walk me through the engine. Why LS and why a turbo?
Normally I like the carbureted stuff. I've always had carbureted V8s, and my son's got into the LS stuff, and then we've been hanging out at a shop, after hours racing here in Manford, that does a lot of turbo LS stuff, and hanging out up there, it's like, man, this is pretty simple and an excellent way to make power. So I dove off with my daily driver and threw a turbo LS in it.
So when you say stock, how stock is it? Like stock injectors, stock internals, everything?
Okay, so the long block is 100% stock, 100,000 mile, super clean internals. The motor was a nice motor, not just some $500 salvage motor. And then so the intake is stock. It's a stock LS1 intake. It does have larger injectors. It's got different exhaust manifolds, obviously, for the turbo setup. Yeah, it's like even the stock cam.
Second gear good?
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, you can just stab into it too, and it'll.
I gotta get my bearings first. That is fun. So what's the deal with this manual transmission? We were talking earlier, but why is it so special?
Well, it's just a Tremec. It's not in production cars. This is a Tremec TKO, and this is the 600. They have a 500 for a 500 horsepower application. This one's the 600 for a 600 application, and they're great for old muscle cars or just about anything you want to make power and have a nice shifting transmission.
It does feel really good. The clutch is very heavy, but you know, that's muscle cars.
Right.
People always say, oh, you say clutches are so heavy. I come from driving Miatas, RX-7s and stuff, so I'm used to paper light clutches. But once you get used to it, it feels really, really solid. That's a nice thing.
So this thing is actually a mechanical, it's not hydraulic. I didn't switch it over.
Wow, okay.
The majority of people want to switch them over to a hydraulic. I don't like hydraulic. It's a kind of a pain. And then if the throw out hydraulic whatever goes out, then you're stuck. You're pulling the transmission. If there's a problem, it's just a mechanical linkage.
So tell me about wheels, tires, brakes, and steering.
So the wheels are a 17-inch American Racing 200S Daisy wheel, 7.5 in the front, 8.5 in the back, and you can tell that the steering is stiff because it's a manual steering with 255 tires up front. So it's it definitely is not for the faint of heart. Brakes, it's got stock later model disc brakes on the front, and then the stock 10-inch drums out back. Manual brakes, no assist. And then the steering is the factory style manual steering box.
And then what do you have for tires?
They're Nittos. I don't remember the model. They're fairly soft, but still, they're not super soft because I drive it every day.
I was gonna say, you daily this, which is like, you get all the badges of honor for that, because that is insane.
It's definitely the fun vehicle to daily.
So speaking of which, why a C10? Why did you seek this truck out?
So originally the first I mainly have Mopars, and I've got like a 67 Barracuda that's my fun car. And whenever something messes up on those, you go to the O'Reilly's or Napa, and it's a 3-day wait. So I switched over and I found a 72 Chevy long bed. I was like, let me see how this is to drive, and bought it. It was fun. Something goes wrong, O'Reilly's or whatever has got it in stock. If not, the store up the road from them, oh, we've got one at our neighboring store 20 miles up the road. So it was mainly parts availability, because this truck, like the front suspension and all that, is the same up to like 87, and then some of the parts even carry over to the OBSs.
Yeah, which is insane. So parts availability is a huge draw of these things.
Right, and that's what I liked about it. And so you get the old truck, the old vehicle, it's fun to drive, and then you get the parts availability, like a headlight switch. You go to O'Reilly's, they got it. My 67 Barracuda, not so much.
Yeah, I would imagine so. I do want to take a brief moment and talk about the exterior of this truck because I think it's my favorite thing in the world. It looks so cool. It has the proper patina. I can't get over it. I'm just showing beauty shots here in the video. Enjoy them because it is really, really cool to see. And it's so unassuming too. Besides the big pipe sticking out the side, you wouldn't really assume much of it. So where'd you find this truck?
It was just barely south of Durango, Colorado in New Mexico. And that was part of the draw to go drive that far away because it was, you know, about 8 hours away to go get it, and that was part of the draw is the patina being a stick shift with a V8 already, and it just you know, made for a nice vehicle, so it's well worth the drive to go get it.
And when you say with a V8 already, it had a different V8 in it. Because I was here 3 months ago and this truck was non-operational. It had a different motor in it, and you said, this is where I'm gonna put the turbo. And I said, cool. But in the back of my head, so many people offer me cars to review, and then they never finish them. They scrap them, they sell them, whatever. 3 months later, this thing's running, driving perfectly. It's amazing. I'm very, very impressed with you guys putting this thing together. And do you want to talk about your race week a little bit?
Yeah, I did race week with it. So I got it going 3 days before race week, which is where you drag race and then you drive in between the drag racing. So
it's focused around like street cars, right?
Oh yeah. Definitely, everything's a street car. Everything has to be driven. You take a photo of your car at checkpoints in between the tracks, and then when you turn in your time slip, you show them, I was there. I was at this checkpoint. I was at this checkpoint. I drove it in between the track. And with it being close to here, I actually, instead of doing the 1,200 miles they did, I did 1,500 miles because I would drive back home. So it was a lot of fun. My best time was a 12.5, and that's still on a 5-pound safe tune. So,
do you have any idea what this thing is making, roughly?
No, it's probably 475 right now, maybe 500 at 5 pounds of boost. I've set everything up to be 600 horse with the injectors and the fuel pump, and with at 10 pounds of boost, that's where I should be.
Okay.
So that's down the road once everything's completely lined out. So it's been a fun little project. Yeah, let's say go for it. Got a little wheel spin there.
Woo! That'll raise some hairs. It sounds great. It sounds so good.
It's definitely a fun truck for sure.
Oh my God. Well, to end this video, which first of all, thank you so much. Let's hop out. Let's switch spots.
Yeah.
And I'll have you kind of show me the beans. How about that?
Yeah, that'll work. Now you see where my son gets that from. You probably had the same experience with him.
Same exact experience. It's so funny. The apple does not fall far from the tree. So if you guys don't know, his son Nick has the LS RX-7. Go for it. And you might not realize we only have lap belts in here, so you get the full motion experience.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's so fun. Very much. Huge thank you for letting me take this thing out. This thing is really, really cool.
Yeah, no problem.
You do have an Instagram. It's Grand Cuda. I'll leave that in the description below. Please go check them out because you're always doing fun stuff with cars.
Oh yeah.
What are your plans with the Barracuda?
I pulled the 383 out that I had in it. I was gonna throw nitrous on it, and I decided just to go with a bigger motor instead of messing with nitrous. So I've got a 440 I'm putting together. Should be about 600 horse 440. I'm wanting to get it right. Everything I've got, I don't want roll cages, so I want them to be right at 11.5 at the drag strip, which that's right where this thing should be at.
Okay.
I think I can easily get there from where I'm at right now. And then the Barracudas are the same way. It's gonna be 11.5. It's a factory big block car, so I don't want to go cutting into it and putting a cage in it.
Yeah, no, I get that.
So.
Oh, one last thing. It fails the big friggin' bottle test. I don't know why I even tried it, but of course there's no cup holders in here. Huge thank you to you.
Yeah, no problem.
Please go check out his Instagram. He's doing a bunch of cool stuff, and I appreciate it. Take care, guys.